four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty, the golden voice of Neal Ruhl, and the iconic Terry Foster. Sit back and relax. It's time for your daily dose of Big D energy.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. We are locked. We are loaded. The storm has started within the last hour. The sleet has begun to fall out of the sky, at least here in Birmingham. I can only speak to Birmingham, which is where we are on Woodward. Ironically enough, Woodward Sports Network. You get it. You get it. Tap in on the woodwardsports.com chat thread. And we're off and running. D-Mac, big win for the Red Wings yesterday. We will discuss, especially in the nature it was constructed. And it's a two-topic Red Wing thing because I think a guy, people have talked about him, but I believe if you want to point to one thing, there's a guy that I want to give flowers to because he deserves it. And people are talking about him to some degree, but I don't think he's getting the credit that he deserves. But anyway, D-Mac, I lean on our community a lot. And a lot of you have kids. D-Mac, you have had kids. Sam Flannel one day, if that's the choice they want to make, they will have kids. Spencer Raxter was a kid at one point.
They're still my kids, Neal.
That is true. You have adults now.
All six of them still are. Now I got my, actually, and maybe like, I know this is a segue, but having kids, and we're going to talk about the weather and stuff like this, but now I got cats. Right, that were my daughter's cats, so I'm like the grandparent, and I had to take them to the groomers today, and I'm leaving them at the groomers, and I'm feeling, I don't know if anybody else feels like this, and maybe it's because I'm getting older or sentimental, but it was like dropping your kids off at school for the first day. So I'm going through that. I'm glad that we're done when we're done, so I can get out of here and get them before it gets really bad. But sort of that's my concern. So D-Mac, he's a little bit, into his cats today.
Yeah, absolutely. Take the extra time and deal with the reality and everything that goes along with the weather and stuff like that. I'll talk to you guys about why I prefer the ice, because I was looking at the weather forecast.
You prefer the ice?
Yes, and here's why. Because it's all about me, right? We've established that before.
We know that.
Yeah. So, like in Saginaw, I saw that the weather reports were calling for 8 to 12 inches of snow. Okay, we're a little bit south of there. We're going to get a lot less snow, but more ice, which is more dangerous. Here's the playoff to that, D-Mac. For me, I'll prefer the ice, and I'll deal with it today into this evening, and I'll react accordingly. I'll drive accordingly, all that. But what I like about that, I don't got to deal with it. I don't got to deal with it like you got to deal with 12 inches of snow. There's no
snow,
escape.
See, you know what? I disagree. And I don't know, maybe our northern people, but the ice is more dangerous because people don't.
100%.
I agree. Don't see it, but I guess how long that it lasts. I guess if you have nothing to do today or you didn't have plans and you don't have to travel a big distance, I believe the snow you can get rid of or push it off to the side, and as long as there's
but you got to deal with it. And here's the key.
I like the snow.
CJ Schneider says it's going to be warm Friday when it melts. It's going to be in the 40s on Friday. The sun's going to come out. The ice will melt, and it's over, and it's out of my life. To whereas the snow, I would have had to deal with. Probably would have had to snow blow twice or whatever it is. It's about me.
Okay.
It's about me, D-Mac.
The constant. It's about the snow.
It's about dealing with it.
So
I'm lazy.
So a day of ice or a day of snow?
I'll take a day of ice because I don't have to do anything.
Okay.
You just wait for it to melt.
All right. So you did preface it with it is all about you and what makes you.
At least I'm honest about it.
You are honest.
I don't disguise it and say, for the betterment of the people. No, I want what's better for me. All right. I'm honest about it. So I want credit for that, D-Mac.
No, that is. And, it seems like the snow, well, you're going to get your wish. I think we're in the ice belt right now coming through where we live, right? So hopefully, and Friday, good. It melts, and I just the ice is dangerous because people, don't evaluate
but you got to be an adult about the situation, D-Mac. You got to respect it and understand that. Dirty Dr. D says, "Do you have two snowblowers, Neal?" I do not. I have one really big one though.
I used to have a snowblower called her Eleanor. Spenny, you'd like this. Me and my buddy had a little Ford Ranger we used to drive around. Two men two men in a truck getting tanked.
Hell
you know,
yeah.
it's right, and we do all of our friends' parents that were older and stuff, and they leave 6-packs on the door.
Nice.
There you go. CJ Schneider says, but I'm up here in Traverse City where we're going to deal with it until Monday. Exactly.
But you're up in Traverse City where you're always dealing with this. So, I mean, you don't really have a choice.
Ryan says, what's Neal crying about today? Well, I'm crying that I don't get your approval, Ryan. That's the main thing that I'm really sitting here struggling with every single day. Spenmo and I talk about it, and one day maybe, Ryan, you'll accept me. But today is not that day.
Yeah. Salt life for everybody now, whether you're south or here.
That is true.
Salt, right?
That is true. I'll give you one thing I am crying about, though, Ryan, and I lean on the community for help. Those that have been there, Spenmo, you were a kid at one point. Maybe you can help me with that. I've touched on this before. I have a 15-year-old son and a 13-year-old son. So you know the age frame, a lot of you out there. Why can't he'll rinse his dishes out when he's done. The dishwasher's located next to the sink. I wake up this morning, he has cereal at night. What do I see? He took the time to rinse the bowl. The dishwasher is literally not pictured to the left.
I was telling you, I have less of a problem with it if there was like crusty cereal with the milk, and he had a habit of this running by and throwing it in there. At least you could break him of that, but at least he's stopping, turning it on, rinsing his bowl out, right, and leaving it there. Anything come to your mind? Maybe it's a spite store. Maybe he's doing it out of spite, or is this an issue? Spenny,
Could be a spite
you're
store.
the closest one here to 15 years old.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is part of the spite store? Or do you think he can be broken to this, or do you think he's aware, or not even aware?
I think he's not aware, but I think he can be broken of it because, like, I'll tell him when we get him on, like, when you get into college and your roommates do that shit,
You'll rage.
it pisses you off so much. Like, I would have to wash the pot, make my pasta, and then I'd wash the pot again and put it up, and then my roommate would make his food and just leave the dirty pot sitting in there for a month.
So you get it.
That shit pisses me off.
You get the rage. I'm talking. I can tell in your eyes.
Yeah.
Like you can't fake that rage. The dishwasher is next to the sink.
I left all the dirty pots in his bed one time. Put them all in his bed.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That,
So-
Oh,
Shit.
you just might have gave Dad an idea.
that is. But then I'll have to deal with that.
Yeah.
To some degree. See, again, I'm going back to it. I like not dealing with stuff. I do, because there's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
You know, we work a lot of hours and stuff like that, like everybody else does. I don't know. Dom Rivera 88. This ish is going to irritate me so much when my kids get to that age. Dom, yes it is. Yes it is. And I don't know what to do. But you know what we are going to do? Tomorrow, we're going to have them on at noon.
Yeah.
My son
Well,
Cristiano's
that's the
coming on at
accountability
noon.
segment, right? He gets to plead his case and tell us, and we'll find out.
We're
from
gonna
the young
take
man.
it-
He's a fine young man, by the way.
Yes.
Fine young man.
We're going to take it to the Big D Energy community.
Yep.
He can speak his piece. I'll speak my piece. I value all of your guys' input as well. And it's not just CJ. Here we go. CJ Schneider. Granite countertop Neal. Yes. Yes. Paul Thomas. This
Oh yeah, the picture.
this
Careful
generation's
people.
lazy, Neal. Wait until he waits till he's 22 to get his driver's license. I don't accept that. Like either you want to help or you don't want to help. You know, Detroit, Michigan, 1990. Neal just want to chill 100. I do.
He told you he's the laziest guy around.
Yeah, I do. Oh my gosh, it's funny. People are excited. They are. John Lord says Big D Energy Court tomorrow. Kirk Ford, I feel for Neal's son because Neal is never wrong.
Well, that's why we're bringing
But
him
Spenny,
in. That's
you're
why
not
I'm
wrong.
going to adjudicate the situation.
Yeah. Wait a minute, Spenny. Why are you nodding along right now?
No reason.
Factual.
Sexual.
Why are you nodding along? I want to know that.
Look at the smile on Sam Flannel's face.
Yeah. Sandy says Neal's more excited about the dishes than the Red Wings. No, I am not. No, I am not. I'm more
He
excited
just
about
wants
the
to
Red
give it the
Wings.
precious time, Sandy. That's why we're just
I
waiting
want to
for the
spend
next
more time
segment.
watching the Red Wings instead of having to deal with dishes and stuff
now,
like that.
And now they're giving you a reason to watch.
They absolutely are, and we are going to get into it because they are they are in the mix. By the way, Sandy, D-Mac says thank you for the Pop-Tart Minis. They were intriguing, I'll say that.
They're good.
And they went fabulous on that healthy bowl I got from Birmingham Roast this morning. If you saw in the pre-video, those are perfect. Spenny, you'd be a big fan of what I just did.
Yeah.
I was thinking maybe a scoop of ice cream on there would be good. Just whipped cream.
Good Lord.
Yeah, good Lord. Delicious, ready to rock and roll.
Robert Closey says, this is why I only have a dog. Alicia says, oh, Neal's wheels are turning. So Charles also says, big let it soak energy. Icon says, I would have ish in his pillowcase. So, I mean, easy, guys.
Yeah, that's a little aggressive.
That's aggressive.
All right, a little aggressive there.
No, but it is funny, though, Spenny, because I saw that look in your eye.
Yeah.
From when you were with your college roommates. The rage. You know the
dude,
rage.
It pissed me off so much because, like, if I didn't wash them, they still would. It'd be like I went on strike for like a month, and there were just pots in the sink. I was like, dude, I want to make some food. And
then you break down and you do it.
And then I break down, I wash all of them, make my food, wash it again, put it back in the dryer or in the cabinet, and then a week later, it's dirty in the sink.
Was this the most contentious issue in your house with your roommates?
Yeah, 1,000%.
More than money or
Yes.
like bills or anything like that?
Mm-hmm.
And it came to a head. Did it improve once you put them in the bed?
It did. It did.
Okay,
Yeah.
point made.
Yeah.
See,
Extreme.
sometimes people can't hear, but they can see.
But they can see. Chris says, reminds me how much my wife loves recycling or leaving piles of unbroken down cardboard and plastic next to the door to be taken out. But that one popped Sam Flannel. You feel that one, Sam?
Yes. I know she might be watching, but yes, I feel that one in my soul. But you know what? In her defense, I could probably move them too, but recycling is more her thing. So, yeah, I'll take accountability for my role. But yeah, that's that one. As you saw, I had a visceral reaction.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread Clomp Sauce. I'm eating a slice of pizza on a paper plate right now. Now, hey, if you want to get granular, I would be team paper plate and just not deal with it at all.
The furniture in my house, or the dishes that I use, mostly bowls and plates, and I mean, it's two cats and me.
Yeah.
What do you want?
That's exactly
So
how I
easy.
would operate.
It's easy.
It is easy.
I don't have a dishwasher, so there you go. But I don't have some dishes in my sink either.
I was the dishwasher for the first, 12 years of my life. I remember the day we got a dishwasher. I was so happy. It was amazing. It's a great feeling.
It is. Well, maybe
Not having to wash a family of 7.
Yeah, well, and we can talk to Cristiano about that, who has that luxury.
Yeah.
And we'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow at noon. He can state his case. And I want to know the why. I'm like D-Mac. I want to know the why.
That's all. Hey,
why do you walk?
Right or wrong.
You walk past the dishwasher to go up to your room after you put the dishes in your sink.
Yeah.
In the sink. Like that is. It's unbelievable to me, man. It really, really is. But the Red Wings, they were unbelievable last night, where every break seemed to go against them. It seemed like they were going uphill the whole time.
They had 8 icings in a row in the last 5 minutes of the second period.
Washington had 100 power plays in a row.
Yeah.
The captain got a game misconduct.
5-minute, major to get.
And they scored.
But they evened out. We scored.
Yeah, scored a shorthanded goal.
It
was
a great
impressive,
game.
man.
We put it on the table yesterday. Biggest game of the year, and they came out and produced. And why don't we talk about it? But first, let me talk to you about Alta, because at Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. You have a bog project coming up. Alta Rent, they have you covered. Call them today, 844. Go to Alta. That's 844. Go to Alta.
You're about to be shell-shocked. The catch of the day is in. Big Boy Seafood Fest is officially back. Join us for some of your favorites like our popcorn shrimp and pike perch platters and our classic fish and chips. This year, we've reeled in some fresh catches like our shrimp Alfredo, shrimp stir-fry, and our fish sandwich. And especially, don't forget about our all-you-can-eat Friday night fish fry buffet. Every day is a fish fry at Big Boy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit customhealthcenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to woodwardsports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to woodwardsports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
The Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck is the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple different ways you can play. They've got $12 open unlimited play and private lane reservation for $120. If you get thirsty, they got a $2 mystery beer vending machine and multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So make sure you go check them out in Hamtramck or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com.
Off and pushing, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here in the building. We do need to talk about the Red Wings game last night. And not so much, I mean, the game itself, right? Great game. We sit here and do a 15-minute, quote, breakdown on it. There were some seminal moments in that game. Obviously, Dylan Larkin got the gate for the cross-check, I guess, to the face. And, look, you know, I know, D-Mac, you were active on social media about it.
Well, and here's my point. And as I was tweeting it, and it wasn't, yes, in 2023, in this day and age, to be responsible for your stick. But how many times have I seen other teams be irresponsible with theirs and not even have a call? On this last road trip, there was an incident. Jonathan Huberdeau in Calgary cross-checked Dylan Larkin, the side of the head, which I didn't think was a major penalty, but I thought it was a penalty all the same. This Larkin, yes, responsible for the stick. I would say not in the face, more so in the side of the head, up underneath. It looked
bad.
Worse than it was, but the intention. But I go back to, because when I played, right, the temperature of the league would understand, going back to the Jamie Benn off the face-off, to all the things that Dylan Larkin has suffered, and being a leader. He's easy to find out there. He's the captain and the best player on this team for a long time, so don't tell me you don't know who this guy is. The stuff Matthew Joseph from Tampa Bay did to him last year at the beginning of the year, that he got kicked out for sucking him after he got hit from behind.
That was awesome.
Just these little incidents, right? This is a perfect opportunity back in the day, and I'm going to use a guy like a Bill McCreary, well-respected or something, to grab Larkin and say, hey, you know what, that was... And look at Oshie, see that Oshie continue to play right on the power play, right? 4-minute penalty, right? And say, Dylan, I know this is it. And why do I say this? Just because in back of Dylan's mind, that sort of, he thinks he's like a target or doesn't get a call. This shows that I see you, right? And this is sort of the break. Now, this is all the stuff that I'm talking about is sort of behind the scenes and sort of the old boy network of how you manage the game behind the game. But by the letter of the law, okay, whatever else, but just call it consistently when it happens to us. That's all it is. Now, to the bigger point, this also gave a great opportunity to test by fire in the biggest game of the year for different guys to step up. And boy, did they. And not your usual suspects. I mean, a guy who's been hot of late, and you see why he doesn't come out of the lineup. Spenny, I think he said this yesterday. Somebody asked, why is Zadina coming out of the lineup? Because you're not removing Suter, because he's on a 3-game goal streak. Now he's got 5 in 4 games. You know, and then Robert Hegg, who has played really well since coming back from injury, and that defensive guy, you find a way to win this game. Everything going against them. In the past, you wouldn't win. If I'm looking at signs that why things are different, that's the consistency of what Derek Lalonde has been preaching. Now, what's the beauty, Neal? The beauty is you look at the schedule, you're 2 points out of the playoff, 1 point behind Pittsburgh, right? Same amount of games, 56. The teams that are in the playoffs have 60 games played. You have 4 games in hand, which is the beauty of why you took care of this road trip, coming back 4-1, because you're having 2 of your toughest games, even though you're playing at home, with the Rangers and Tampa, who arguably 2 of the best teams in the league. Would you say, Neal?
Absolutely.
So the fact that you do have leeway in case you do lose these games. Now, other teams can keep going, but that's where the game's in hand. But if you do win these games and keep this going, it's one of those things is you don't know what you have and you just keep going out there and doing it. That's where like a lot of the leadership and just keep going out and preach and preach and preach. And now what we're seeing, I always go back to, is what Derek Lalone said at the beginning of the season. It takes a long time to implement a system. And what Steve Yzerman said in January, that this team is better than the record shows. Let's see what we do when we get healthy.
And D-Mac, that's the thing, right? And I hear this around town on different sports media entities, where all of a sudden they're hockey experts now, and they're breaking down the number of points to go to the playoffs. What they can't tell you, D-Mac, is what I'm going to ask you. What's different? Not, oh, they gelled, they spent some time together and they gelled, or Steve Yzerman signed some free agents. What's different on the I want to get geeky for 2 minutes. I know we may lose some people and stuff like that. I understand that, but this is talk, sports talk for two right now. Neal the fan, like the Ask D-Mac thing. D-Mac, on the ice, why does it work now to whereas why didn't it work in December? It's not just
they're more
gel.
on the same page, and what you see, what happens with repetition at the highest level is now guys aren't thinking. They're reacting. They're playing for one another because they trust one another. One of the big things too, right, and we've talked about it, you mentioned shorthanded goal last night, right? So the 5-on-5 power play, Washington, we got a shorthanded goal, then they got a power play goal. It's a wash. Right, you'll take that on killing a 5-minute major. Face-offs, right? The big thing, though, is that the shots that you're sort of giving up, you're giving up from the outside and doing a great job of crashing back and clearing out, right?
And you preached that, D-Mac. You said from the moment this started this year, you will see the shot total go up, but you will see the quality slot chance go down.
Well, that's because I'm just reiterating what I hear the coach say with the system that they're trying to play. This is the benefit of it. Right? This is the benefit of it. And here's the thing. They're feeling each other, right? And here's the one where you have, right? Where you talk about veteran presence in the dressing room, where they're valuable, the Cops, the Sherratts, the Perrons that you brought in. Because your young guys are looking around going, is this for real? Are we supposed to be doing it? And these guys have been there before going, yeah, let's keep going, keep grinding with different guys coming out, coming back. You know, it was great to see Jacob Verana back in the lineup last night. You know, the big thing I think that, and I saw an article, and I believe it was The Athletic, but I'm not sure, about, and I just saw this quote, about the things that you don't realize, the responsibilities that Mo Seider. I think Mo Seider too. Mm-hmm. How about the comfortability of him coming into that role? Right? We could say earlier in the season that he wasn't playing his best hockey, but he was also expanding his role, his time on the ice even more and even more. And I think that now you're seeing him understand that. You know, the way they've mixed things up. You look at Jake Wallman, who's not your biggest guy, but I see him face to face with one of the toughest guys in the league, and Tom Wilson not backing down yesterday.
I'll pause you right there, D-Mac, because Wallman's the guy, like, again, for me, that is really started to pick up viewership of the Red Wings a lot. I mean, to where it's an appointment view now. Wallman's the guy to me that's the name that you never hear about, but I always hear Ken Daniels saying his name.
Yeah. And he's only gotten better. And this is what Steve Yzerman had thought and expected, even though he got Wallman and he was hurt when he came. But it's the skating ability, right? And the ability. You know, the guys that... Why this happens is because, yeah, your best players are playing at a different level in Dylan Larkin, but your role players are playing up a different level. How many times have I talked about Rasmussen and his development? But what about guys like you mentioned, Wallman, who's on the first pairing, Osterley, local kid who doesn't get a lot of stuff, but the Wallmans and the Osterleys, they can skate. They can skate and they can move the puck, and I think it's the confidence and everybody buying in to the system, the team system, which is allowed. And again, what are the two epitomes? It's been the Dylan Larkin / Husso show. Husso was on his game again last night when he needed to be. Hence, you have a victory. This is becoming more consistent, right? More consistent 60-minute game, more consistent winning. That's exactly what is. So you're seeing, I believe, the hard work that they put in and all the things that we've heard throughout is now what we're seeing. It reminds me a lot of watching the Lions this year.
And here's, you brought up Ville Husso. And that, you guys know, right? that's my guy, where I've talked about him a lot this year, and my thoughts about Nedeljkovic are out there, and they're well known. For me, Husso, yes, I think does get some credit, but D-Mac, and I know Larkin's taken it to another level. I understand that. But none of this is possible without Ville Husso. You have to have a goaltender. And I'm not saying
yeah, because look at why aren't we having the same conversation we were at the beginning of the year? Because you got somebody in there who's doing the job.
And I'm not saying he's like Vezina, the Vasilevskis, and those. He's not at that level. But he's a grinder, man.
When he's on, he's on.
And when he's on, he's on. And side to side, he's elite.
His lateral mobility is
side to side. He is elite.
And here's the one thing: is you just want him every time. You want the confidence that he goes in the net, is that he gives you a chance to win. And that's the one thing with Chris Osgood, right? No matter what you thought, didn't matter how we weren't worried about how many goals he was going to let in. We just knew we had a chance to win because he's going to fight.
And that's it. That he's a grinder, and you got a shot. Tammy Chin says, "What is different? The culture, the team is coming together." And she also says Husso has stepped up. And to me, Husso's been what he's been. Mm-hmm. I mean, again, he is not elite. He's not. But he to me is the one thing that this team sorely, sorely needed. You needed a competent goaltender, an NHL goaltender. That's what you needed.
I mean, I sound like a broken record, but how was it built in Tampa?
Yeah.
Vasilevsky. You know, you got to be Derek Lalonde. He comes in, tells you, got to keep the puck out of the net. We're going to concentrate on the defensive scheme, stuff like this. So the guys playing hard around him and eliminating those second chances, odd man rushes and stuff, has helped them out also. So they're playing for each other, and they're playing a system. Now you see the system start, the 1-1-3 and the 3-1-3 being implemented.
Speaking of great goaltenders, did you hear Ozzy last night when Keats asked him how many goals Ovechkin got on him? He's like, just one. He's like, just one, right? He's like, and Keats is like, yeah, one. He's like, all right, what do I win?
WoodwardSports.com chat there, Brandon Katz says Washington has been hot garbage without Ovechkin, and that is true.
Yes.
But here's
you
the
have
deal.
to take care of the hot garbage that's fed to you.
Especially on the road, and anyone will tell you this. Anyone who's been around sports, it's not who you play, D-Mac. It's when you play them. And you don't have to apologize for it.
And and you got a defending Stanley Cup netminder and guys that have won cups. It's a huge game, and you're battling. So I don't care why or how. You got to get it done.
Yeah, Jack Harrington says Wings versus Rangers will be a good game. And this is what's great about it. This is what's great about getting in the mix. And I think we've forgotten this because, again, it has been a decade since this town won a playoff series. Let that sink in. It has been a decade since that happened. So, again, we're brand new to this one more time. Guess what? You won, and it's cool, and it felt good. And Thursday we do it all again.
Right. Come up for air, breathe, get a sandwich, go to the bathroom, then you're back at it. Mm-hmm. Right? And do it again and keep shocking the world.
Yeah. And remember too, like it's still a hodgepodge. I know everyone's talking about the games at hand and things like that, but remember, Buffalo has a game in hand against you.
Here's the thing,
you know,
this is
like
where
it's
you
still a
bank the
hodgepodge.
points. You don't take it for granted. I'm just telling you what you've set yourself up just in case.
Yeah. And you know that back-to-back road games against Ottawa, that's lurking as well. So it's all of that, guys. There was no finish line last night because there's still 20-plus games to go. So there is no finish line. And guess what? Thursday's not a finish line, but it's another must-win, if that makes any sense. That's the nature of this. We forgot, D-Mac. We forgot all about this stuff.
And you know what it is, too? What's different, Neal, is that, for lack of a better term, this team is playing playoff hockey.
They are. And it's going to be going on for the next 20 games. Sports Marketing Agency, they help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast is called This is the S Word. It helps fight the stigma associated with seeking help. If you're struggling or someone you know is struggling, go to thesportsma.com. Again, thesportsma.com, the Sports Marketing Agency. They're here to help.
Love Woodward Sports. Love love wearing clothes, then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Olafson, DC, the founder of the Custom Health Centers, and we've helped thousands of people learn how easy it is to lose weight and keep it off with our customized weight loss and body contouring programs.
With Custom Health, you don't feel hungry, you eat well. My name is Simeon Timbuk, and I've lost 71 pounds on the program.
Call us at 844-789-THIN or visit CustomHealthCenters.com for a free consultation and get started for as little as $5 a day.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. Baby, talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, Darren, McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Just kind of wrapping up this Red Wings discussion. Detroit Dabber 313, woodwardsports.com chat thread. Lark's just got a $5,000 fine as well. Roll the dice with player safety.
I got $2,500 for the Lemieux incident.
And you didn't even get
That's all
kicked
I'm
out of the
saying.
game.
Hey, did you have to write a check? How did that work? They took it out of your
they
payroll?
knocked it off my pay or whatever.
Did they?
Yeah. It's the best money I ever spent.
Oh, yeah.
I think you made that back off that.
You think? Still trying. Everybody, you need a picture in your house or your bar, let me know.
There you go. So, yeah, just kind of wrapping up that discussion. What'd you have, Spenmo? I know we were talking earlier. It's wild to hear around town how the tenor has changed.
Yeah, that other sports station, they're talking about trade deadline and what is Stevie going to do now with the trade deadline, because does it change the way that they're playing, does it change his approach? And they're saying to trade for Timo Meier, and they're saying to give up fucking Edvinsson. They're like, yeah, we'll have to give up. Oh, you're going to give up your top two pairing guy for the next 15 years for a 30-goal winger?
Right.
Like that's your grand plan. This guy who is going to be a top two defenseman in the Red Wings organization for the next 15 years, you're going to give him up for Timo Meier.
They're new.
Like, come on.
They're new, Spenny.
It pissed me off. They were like, yeah, it probably starts with 2 first-round picks is the conversation. I was like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Timo Meier is only 26 years old. He's a good young player. They're like, yeah, or you could throw in Edvinsson. I was like, no, you don't. No. Are you kidding me? The top four next year for the Red Wings defense, when it's Edvinsson, Seider, Wallman, and Sherratt, stop. They're not winning the cup. You're not mortgaging your future for a 30-goal winger. Stop it. God.
I'm sitting here trying to be nice and whatever. Just Brandon, you can't. You tell me, Brandon, who you're going to get for more value. Like, first of all, Larkin's value he's showing you is 9. Top guys get 12.5, and it's only going up or whatever to lock it into 9. Tell me who you're going to get that's better to lead this team. Other than that, maybe I'll give you a segment on Chomp and Puck this Saturday. We'll see. That makes... I've seen you write some absolutely ridiculous things, and I've seen you write some absolutely smart things on here, but please don't affect the people that actually look for knowledge or look for something, because you're wrong unless you can tell me who, please. Because Neal, am I out of line there? The way that it's playing out, the value of it is showing more and more a day that he is absolutely a $9 million player, if not more. And I get what he's saying is the top players are underpaid to whatever else. But seriously, 12.5 to 9, that's $3.5 million. You go from a $9 million player to $5.5 million player. The difference there.
Well, D-Mac, I run the risk of getting overly granular here. Is he 75% of Nathan McKinnon?
Yes.
Yes. So,
yes.
i.e.
And here's the one thing. and I will say this, and Brandon, I will give you credit for this because you can't know this. There's no way anybody else knows this because I've lived it. So the culture in the locker room and what goes around is just as important as the talent. So in the Detroit Red Wing organization, because the guy running it, I've seen for 40 years plus there, been a part of it for 30 years with them. I don't know. Let's just say that I might know the vibe of how that means as much. And then when you ask that, is it 75% of that, Neal? Then I'd say he's even more, right, to what he means value-wise. And that's and maybe I put too much in, right, to knowing the fact of what that is value, because the game, for example, what you saw last night is a snippet of what you need. And when I'm talking about leadership, because when he does something that affects the team as the leader and they say, I don't give a fuck, we got your back, bro, we're going to rally around you, and we know how big this game is. Those are the things I'm talking about as stepping stones, which doesn't mean playoffs, doesn't mean anything else, but it means something that I know for a fact is what was embedded into having guys around to win cups for us like that. That's all I'm saying. So to your numbers wise, to your black and white and this and that, in this case, maybe because it's personal and that, but it doesn't hold true. Mm-hmm. To your point, even more valuable than 75%, in my opinion. But
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we'll find out the only guy that matters. Hashtag why is playing 1919, because that's the beauty of it, right? That's the beauty of it. We wait and see.
I do love that, though, the people that'll just like run to the who's expiring, who's on the market. Let's empty out the war chest for it. Yeah. Nah, dude, like that's.
It's not how you build a team.
That's how you get.
That's going to be my next aggravation.
Sticks and straw.
Yeah.
That's not the brick mansion that you're. Are we not trying to get back to the 25 years? Are we not trying to break the 25-year straight playoff, and not just to get in, but actually to be able to, 15 years from now, be in the hunt and be these teams like the Tampa Bay's been for the last decade, like we used to be? I think that's what he's trying to do.
And that's it. That's going to be, like Ryan asked earlier, what's Neal mad about today? I'll tell you what I'm going to be mad about in the future. When we get close to this and everyone's like, especially when trade deadline happens and things start popping and stuff like that, and people be like, who are the Red Wings getting? Steve Yzerman, what's he going to do? Is he going to make any moves? Time's not right yet. Mm-hmm. The time still isn't right, guys. Just because all of a sudden you popped off for a month and you're in the playoff mix doesn't mean you're ready to go win a cup yet. Can we all agree that this has progressed nicely under Yzerman? Can we all agree? I don't think there's a person out there that would dissent against that. Is that true? You feel me?
Yes.
Am I out of school here?
No.
And if you do, you have to come in. We have to do a live interview in the studio, and you're telling me why to my face.
Yeah.
Not many people have the balls of Sam Flannel to do that.
Yeah.
So he's legend killing me. You got to understand. He knows. Anybody knows anything about me? Come at me, man. Mm-hmm. Come at the alcoholic, drug addict, whatever. Like, way to go. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I've done. But you come at my guys, and you come at anybody around me, I'll kill you, man. Figured it. I think I've proven that. Do I not have the video that plays every time? That's all I'm saying. So don't. And accountability is accountability. Mm-hmm. That's all it is. But to the fact is that, like, just don't argue to argue, right? And to Brandon's point, 73-point players, not $9 million. What does that give them? 73-point players, $7.5 million. I'll give them $1.5 million for captaincy. Do you see how it works? But I want, and it's not for Brandon to understand. I'm using his name because he's bringing up those points. It's for everybody else to understand that there's a lot more that goes into it.
Mike G says you build a championship team from the two furnaces up. Everybody knows that. That's the way that I've done it.
That's true.
Nicholas Duncan says, yes, Neal, Yzerman is doing great things. So therefore, let him cook. And again, this has happened. This is my case with Brad Holmes. It is my case with Steve Yzerman. I have data to suggest that they've had success. This was the stark contrast with the Al Avila stuff. I was looking for one success with Al Avila. To whereas with Holmes and Yzerman, you can you can give me one non-success move that they've had. You know what I'm saying? Like they'll say, "Oh, Trinity Benson, that you traded a 5th-round pick for." That's your non-success. That's what's different about it. Because with Al Avila, I wanted a win. With Steve Yzerman and Brad Holmes, I want a loss. Like, show me one. You can't. Like, that's what it is. So, no, I'm not running down. And this is the other thing, too, where, and maybe this makes me smarter than everybody else. I've seen somebody say that. Whatever, man. Like, this is the way that it's going to be built. Has it been building? Is it being constructed? Yes. You can't argue that. You got your improvement, right? And in a day and age where we live, D-Mac, where nothing is linear. This has been linear with the Red Wings. This
Absolutely,
has.
from day one, and all you got to do is listen to the man in charge. He's telling you where you're at. Yeah, it's nice when he talks. But he doesn't need to talk now because the team's actions, right? Usually when people are talking, it's because the actions on the field aren't showing it or on the ice. The actions are speaking for it, everything. I mean, it's crazy. And here, Neal, I guarantee Timo Meier, right? Free agent market gets over 10 per season. That's why Larkin's the value. And if you say that Timo Meier, so Brandon, you're saying that Larkin then is a $10 million, $10.5 million on the market. Like, let's just watch and see what Timo Meier does, please. That's it. But Larkin's like right now is more of a $9 million man because everybody, it's just crazy. But to the fact is, look at the spot that we're in, even compared to last year, even compared to at January, right? Some questions are starting to get answered because why? Consistency. And thank you, Councilman. The word I've been always looking for is the intangibles. The intangibles are so big to get you over the hump. You want to be good or you want to be great? What do you think Edmonton's been looking for? Right? Mm-hmm. They got talent galore. You can argue that they've never had a goaltender, but they don't have the right intangibles. They thought they did. That's why they added Evander Kane and the Zach Hymans and stuff, but they're still looking for that.
The only like huge deal that I could see that would fit the Red Wings' eye, I think, would be like the Chychrun thing.
Oh, Jacob Chychrun. Yeah. Yes, a defenseman, big left-handed guy that can be here 10 years and stuff. Yes. If that's what Stevie thinks of and the price is right. Because again, too, but if you made that deal, Neal, that even though it's great of a defenseman and a player, what you'd have to give up, it's still thinking it's building. It's
right.
It's for the next year.
That
I
would be
like
it.
him a lot. I just think that the asking price will be too high.
And it will be. It'll be astronomically high because that's the only card that they have to play for the guy that they took with our draft pick that Ken Holland gave them in the Pavel Datsyuk trade. So just remember, never forget, everybody. Never forget. Hey, we're going to do the Bears. The Bears financial look ahead. The Bears. We'll do the Packers next Wednesday. But you know how we got to do it, man. We gotta get down and discuss it. I was taking a look at it, and there are some things about it that surprised me.
Ooh.
I think they'll surprise you as well.
Surprises in store. Guess what's not a surprise? Where you get your haircut. Come to Lady Jane's for award-winning haircut experience and register for once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win the down payment for your dream home, up to $200,000 instead of $200K. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
You
don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter, Sam Flannel, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Keaton Serbaugh said Ken Holland should be in prison.
Whoa.
And, you know, hey.
Whoa.
I think that's aggressive, but Keaton, I will say this.
Yeah.
I wouldn't charge him today.
No.
But I would launch an investigation.
There might be an investigation, white collar stuff, some of the contracts, but no. Just person of interest?
Yeah, a person of interest. I think he could be a person of interest.
We were laughing during the break. That was funny.
He should be in prison. You know what?
Some countries he probably would be.
I know I got to step lightly. I mean, I don't have to step lightly, but I do out of respect. There are banners. There are championships that were won. He was the guy in charge. And look, you can say however they did it, whatever advantages they had, that he had, whatever, he still did it. So he did it. It's just when the game flipped, man, and we went to the cap era, he was ill-equipped. And the proof is out there. But whatever, we're moving on now. So that's what it is. Speaking of finances, we do this every Wednesday. I've been spinning through our division. We spin through the NFL. We just kind of take a deeper look at the financial standing of the teams in the Lions division, just to know what we're up against. And I have to do this right now too. Today we're going to do the Chicago Bears and take a look at where they are.
Bears.
And the reason they're interesting, right? Because I think we all agree that the Packers are on the descent. We'll see how quickly they descend. We all feel that the Vikings are on the descent to a degree.
Okay. I'll say, if anything, they're hovering.
Sure, whatever.
Right, they're sure whatever.
Whatever. So I do want to take a look at the Bears here. And just to give you the 30,000 foot of where they are, they're interesting, right? Because they have the most available salary cap of any team in the league, and it ain't close. Where we looked at the Lions and we gave you the pathway to where they could get $40-ish million in cap space. As it sits right now, the Chicago Bears have $98 million in cap space for this year. To give it perspective, the Falcons are second with $56 million in cap space. So it's a wide gap. There's a big-time gap. But, Spenny, there were some interesting things that jumped out at me when I looked at the Bears salary cap table. Their highest paid player, just in terms of cap hit, is a free safety, which was really weird.
Eddie Jackson? Yeah, he's the best player for sure.
$17 million cap hit this year. It's taken up 7.3%. That's weird to me. Their second biggest cap hit is a guard, Cody Whitehair.
Yeah.
At $14 million. They're in a spot, D-Mac. They can do damage, but as I've looked around at it, and I hear this discussion about, and it's more and more about them trading Justin Fields. And I'm hearing it from people that I follow that don't just talk ish. You know what I'm saying? It's not like other media entities in this town where they're just going to look at available free agents and say, go sign this guy.
Yeah, maybe we should trade Everton.
I got one question.
Yes.
Right? Like, are you in? Do you like their spot? Do you like Chicago's
And that's why
spot?
it's interesting. Do I like their spot as a bottomed-out franchise? I do. Because it's very maneuverable, what they can do. They could conceivably do some things and get more cap space if they want to do. I don't think they will, though. I think that if we were Bears fans and we were in Chicago, which we're not, if you looked at them, you would say, get out there and do something about this. I don't think the timing's right yet for them.
But why would you, if you see an out, if you can explain the why in 2 years or 3 years, because if you don't spend the money that you have now, right? Am I following me? That you still have the money to spend, and like you said, there's maneuverability. But when do you find that they could be the valuable team? Like in 2 years, if what they do this year to build, and then it sets them up for next year to actually do what we're trying to do in Detroit in Dan Campbell's tenure in his 3rd year now?
I think there are a couple of they are the Red Wings when Yzerman took over.
Okay.
I think that's what they are. They have their own first, obviously, which is number 1 overall. They don't have their second, Spenny's favorite deal of all time, that they traded for Chase Claypool for some reason.
Yes.
Chase Claypool, by the way, has 1 year left on his deal at $2 million, then he's a free agent. What were they doing?
So are you saying that they're not the Detroit Tigers and they're more the Detroit Red Wings a couple years ago?
Well, here's the deal, because I've been doing this the last couple days, last couple weeks when we've talked about it, where we look at Lions, people that could challenge the Lions, right? And I said, well, the Bears, to quote Dion, they coming, right? But they're not yet. The Lions have a window where they could be the dominant force in this division for a couple of years, because the Bears, with all this cap money they have, they're in a good spot. And all this draft capital they have, they're in a good spot. They're not a direct threat for at least 2 years.
Okay.
And that's when the Justin Fields thing.
What surprised you? You brought up something that when you were going through it.
The main thing with me about the Bears, obviously you have a free safety as your number 1 cap hit, a guard as your number 2 cap hit. Your 6th biggest cap hit is your kicker. Their kicker is a $4.5 million Cairo Santos. Their kicker's a $4.5 million cap hit. Which stuff like that tells me they're just going to draft their dudes and they're going to roll out. And there's going to be another year of pain for them. So I guess what we're doing is I'm taking the long way of saying that I undervalued a lot of you out there that said the Bears are trash, the Bears are not a factor. Because from what I found, D-Mac, is they're closer to that for the near future, for 2-ish years.
I think the big question as a Detroit fan is how long do you think they can until they come back? They're regrouping, right? So is it a 2 year and 3 years? Because when we look at, and while we look at all these other teams in our division, we look at how does it affect us, because we're thinking we can win the North this year. Is it a 2 years? So when I'm looking at free agency and I know, okay, we're waiting for Aaron Rodgers' darkness to see whatever, but he's on the decline. Minnesota, Kirk Cousins, whatever, they got issues. So if I'm Brad Holmes going into free agency and speeding up the process of the roster on our team, right, not just in the draft, but in free agency, that might speed it up, because now's the time. Now's the time this year to win the North and get, hopefully win a playoff game and have a home game, but then make.
See, I kind of think the
splash.
opposite, D-Mac, because with the Bears on this type of timetable, and Brandon Katz says the Bears are not in a good spot. They don't have a franchise quarterback. Field can't complete 15 passes in a game and can't stay healthy. But Brandon, the flexibility that they have, they can go get anybody in the league. Anybody in the league that presents themselves. They could become a factor overnight for anyone. So that is a little bit concerning. But I think it's actually you have more time.
You do have more time.
If you're the Lions, you have more time than you think you do.
So it's a 3 year. We're let's put ourselves at Allen Park right now. Right? We're going, okay. So I guess it's just because I want to know as a fan that I'm not going to get too excited if we don't make that splash now, and we're building and we get there. But I think you're going to see. But our window is opening if it's not open right now, right? As far as the North goes, the window is open. You agree? Window to win this division definitely is right there for us.
Definitely. And the mayor, Robert Closia, says, just think about it for a second longer. Let it sink in. The Bears' highest paid players are a safety and a guard. FFS. Add in the 6th highest as a kicker. What a mess. But see, here's the deal, though, with that, though, Robert, is they move on from all that next year again. They'll still have Eddie Jackson. They'll still have, Cody Whitehair. And their numbers go up a little bit. But after that, it's Justin Fields and nothing. So they can punt. And I think that's what they're going to do. So all this cap space that I kind of celebrated. And, hey, I know I'm always right and things like that. I overvalued it a little bit. It took a little bit deeper look to see what their situation was. But see, like for the people that talk about Fields and he's not a franchise quarterback, they got the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I mean, you see all the
they
pundits
run
talking
things.
around. Is Chicago going to trade Fields or something? Go get Bryce Petty or go get.
And that is more realistic than I think that I gave it credit for, that I think a lot of people are giving it credit for. Because what am I talking about with the Bears, right? Timing. The timing's not there.
Because it actually just resets their rookie quarterback contract.
That is it right there. If you do that deal.
I actually, talking about it, that seems more reality than anything else. Is that they're going to try to move Justin Fields for that first pick.
And I believe that is more in play than I gave it credit for, than I think a lot of people are giving it credit for.
But here's worst case. If you did draft a quarterback at first, right, you'd have 2 guys on the rookie deal, correct?
Yes.
Technically. So in the situation you're at, I'm just saying, like, to move, it looks like they probably move on if they don't believe he's that guy. And that guy's
so I guess that, and Spenmo, just to bring you in for a minute here, would you rather be the Bears or the Rams right now?
The Bears, for sure.
No question.
Yeah.
See, like, so like the people that are saying that the Bears, man, they're screwed. They don't. I'd rather have a clean book.
They have so many picks, so much money. They have an asset that they can move in Justin Fields to get even more picks. Like, I'd rather be the Bears.
Absolutely. That's kind of where I'm with it too. That's what makes them more dangerous.
Yes.
Now they're still the Bears, and they'll trade a second-round pick for Chase Claypool if given the chance. I can only go by what they did, right?
So stupid.
I know. You know what though, Spenny? I could see them working on it. They have Baltimore's second round pick this year. They kind of replaced it. They were giving it a spin. It was their Trinity.
What a spin! They knew they weren't going to do anything. You give up a second-round pick for him
No, that's fair. It was their Trinity Benson trade, except they gave a second instead of a fifth.
Yeah.
They took a step to the crap table. So, that's what it is.
And lost. Crapped out.
And Chuck says, Neal, you have to assume Chicago's GM's going to hit on all their moves. Do you trust their GM? I don't trust anybody that trades for a second-round pick for Chase Claypool. So that's the answer. No. And you can be skeptical of what they're going to do. So the Ski Mask Boy says Chase Claypool is really good.
He's really good at dancing when they need to clock the ball and losing his team the game. He's good at making TikToks. He's good at drafting his own replacement because he was the one that announced the George Pickens pick for the Steelers.
What a wild time, man.
That's embarrassing, man.
Cintron's really good at being the best energy drink in the game. They're an aspirational lifestyle beverage brand with a line of sparkling flavored energy beverages and premium bottled water. Cintron's fashionable, functional, and fun if you want premium ingredients, long-lasting energy, balanced hydration, essential vitamins, and a non-negotiable is great taste. Cintron is your top choice. Buy online at drinkcintron.com. It's available on Amazon, so why wait? Drink it. Live it with Cintron.
The Sports Marketing Agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zuniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991. Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are. We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Neal Ruhl here for Custom Health Centers. On Ryan Ermanni is on his way with Custom Health Centers, and he's got a 6-pack already. It only took like 12 hours being on Custom Health, and then he got a 6-pack. No, we're just playing, but he is down 15 pounds so far with Custom Health Center. They can help you too. They'll get you a customized approach to your weight loss. They have over 20,000 success stories. They've helped former professional athletes lose weight. Eddie Murray, Pro Bowl kicker with the Lions. Rick Mahorn, NBA world champion and bad boy. He's down over 50 50 pounds with Custom Health Centers. You can be next. Start losing weight today. Call Dr. Jason and Custom Health. 844-789-8446. Again, 844-789-THIN. It's Custom Health Centers. On and poppin', Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. Happy y'all are with us. Hour number 2 of the show. Remember, subscribe to the podcast, Big D Energy Podcast. iTunes, wherever you get your podcasts. Jump in there, the YouTube channel, woodwardsports.com. All of it. If you missed something, go back, check it out. You see this Daniel Jones stuff, D-Mac?
Like, come on, guys. Are you happy you got Jared Goff at where you got him at?
No, you need a new quarterback. Go get someone like Daniel Jones.
Pay him more?
For those of you that missed it, he went and got himself a new agent, by the way, which leads me to believe, D-Mac, when you are coming up for free agency, that things aren't going the way you want them to go, right?
No, you got to mix it up because somebody's not thinking on your wavelength or your power, and sometimes you need a new voice. I've gone through that, switching from had one agent in junior and then didn't feel like was getting enough out of it and switched to another one and got drafted second round in Detroit. So, I mean, there are these things going on. Also, too, when the lockout came and my contract was bought out, my agent got me to Calgary. So, I mean, there are some worthwhile ways for that. But when you hire a new agent, it's because you're looking for a different somebody to tell you how good you are differently.
Absolutely.
Or believes that he can go get you the money you want. That's the bottom line, right? The guy that's coming in, and if you hear Daniel Jones wants 45, this guy told him, I can get you the money.
Well, here's the deal. So he was represented by CAA before.
Isn't that one of your hoity-toity companies?
Yeah. Okay. He was represented by CAA. Now he's listed as being represented by Athletes First. And I guess these guys have done a lot of these quarterback contracts.
So that would make sense,
Smart
right?
Man.
100%.
Smart agency, getting in the quarterback market game.
Absolutely.
That's how I would go.
And if they're able to pull this off. So for those that don't know, Daniel Jones is said he wants in that $43 to $45 million a year range. Now the Giants, what they are able to do, the franchise tag is open. That'll put him right about $32.5 million for 1 year. As soon as they tag him, obviously that becomes guaranteed, so that's an avenue that's available to the Giants. Now, he can choose to not play and hold out and give up $32.5 million guaranteed. But I'm telling you, D-Mac, with the Geno Smith stuff, they're saying he's in that neighborhood of 35 for 3 at 105 with 65 guaranteed and all that kind of stuff. I'm just saying, man. People laugh.
Burrow and Herbert are coming up on contracts soon. They're going to get 50+ a year each. I would do it now.
I bet you he's going to end up closer to 45 than he is to 32.
Yes.
I would say yes also. And question is at 32 franchise, you're still like, okay, but again, you look back at the situation your guys set you in with Jared Goff. More and more as guys sign, you're going to be happy with where you're at with your contract. And also, too, Neal, the biggest thing that I get when I say that is the fact that you're not tied to him at all. So the minute you want to be done with them, you can be done with them right now, correct?
Absolutely.
And not cost you anything, correct?
But you won't have anything.
I understand that. But it's a decision that you can make. But the money that he's at right now is compared to what all these other guys. Can we agree that Jared Goff's better than Geno Smith and Daniel Jones?
No question.
Okay.
No question.
So then, what are you prepping everybody for a Goff extension?
I'm saying this. And I'll go to
what did we
in a
just
second.
come out of the conversation of? Right, where the North was, where Chicago was, they're 2-3 years away. Right? Brad Holmes thinks this guy's the answer isn't the extension to keep the money low the way that it is to build the rest of the team. Are you not, am I not hearing you, or am I just reading too much into you? Am I taking this too much personal? I know you and where your head goes, but right, as far as this is reality, isn't it? No, reality to the fact that that Geno's out there, that Daniel Jones, we agree, is going to sign closer to $45 million than the 32 or 35 million. But also, too, is that, you know what? Be prepared.
Be prepared. And look, Brandon Katz says the Giants have been trashed for years. The fans won't tolerate a rebuild. The Giants have no plan B to move on from Jones. And Brandon, that's why he's going to get closer to 45. Because what's your alternative?
Yeah.
If you're the Giants,
he has the leverage.
He does.
And then
have
he
the
brings
leverage.
in, right? So instead of dealing with, and I'm not saying the CAA, but I'm just saying it's Daniel Jones, and I'm sure you don't have whoever the top dude is or whatever, but over at this Athletes, you got 5 guys that are showing you exactly where it is and that you have the power. We're going to show you how to leverage your power.
I haven't had 5 guys in a while.
Because he's going to go for the bag.
Fried slap.
Right? If you're Daniel Jones, with everything you've sort of been through, pay me my money, right?
100%. I mean, the bottom line is he had 5 picks last year as a guy who I described as a turnover factor.
But his turnovers is how many times he laid on the ground. It was the same thing as like Jared Goff. He quit laying it on the ground.
Quit turning it over. Sam Flannel, you've been quiet through this. You're back there shaking your head right now. All right, I put you in charge of the Giants. What are you doing?
Well, let me just say this. I don't have an answer for that. My overall thing is I cannot live in a world where Daniel Jones gets $45 million a year. $35 million a year I'm fine with, but despite having this good season, which he did have relative to the rest of his career, he still only threw 15 touchdown passes in a training wheels level offense. That is the exact same as Marcus Mariota. That is fewer than Justin Fields, who apparently can't throw, Davis Mills, who blows, and Andy Dalton, who is Andy Dalton, and best of all, fewer touchdown passes last season than Broncos Russell Wilson. Ooh. Who the hell does Daniel Jones think he is if he's going to get $45 million a year? F that. I can't live in that world. Obviously he was a good runner, and that factors into it, but that was a training wheels offense with a great offensive mind. He does not deserve $45 million, and if he gets it, I just don't want to live in that world.
Yeah, but isn't that the world, right, we're talking about, right? Didn't somebody just say that Patrick Mahomes making 50 where he should be making 60? He screwed everybody. Like, we're going there. Your bottom guys, Neal, isn't this how it works? In 3 years' time, isn't the franchise tag on a quarterback going to be $50 million?
Yeah. And
yes, it will be.
To be fair to Daniel Jones, he had no receivers.
Well, you just mentioned all the different guys, and I'm like, okay, which one of the guys that Sam named, right, had the best offense?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a two-headed running monster. The Giants' offense really was the Philly offense, except Philly has the receivers and has the tight end and has the weapons, right? But Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts, 2 runners out of the back, Daniel Jones, Saquon Barkley. Unfortunately, their money guy, the guy's supposed to be their A.J. Brown, Kenny Golladay.
Yeah, like when Richie James is your best receiver, you're not going to throw
Richie James, sure, well, that's the whole thing. But here's the thing: is Richie James what is Richie James? Your Khalif Raymond?
Yeah.
But did everything he wanted to do.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Zach says class is canceled for the day equals time to watch Neal and D-Mac. Well, Zach, if you were committed, you'd watch during class too.
That is a good point. That's a good point.
Either you're in or you're out, Zach.
Yeah.
All right. But hey, we appreciate you tapping into the show.
I used to watch at work.
Yeah, Zach's
when I worked from home, I used to watch.
Ransom says $45 million could get you a really good offensive line, 2 to 3 players.
They already have a pretty good offensive line.
But they do, and he's gonna get it. He's gonna get in that neighborhood, guys. He just is. Life isn't what you deserve.
It's market.
It's what you negotiate.
It's what you negotiate. First tee. When's the golf bet won?
On the first tee.
On the first tee before pegs even put in the ground.
Every single bit of it. And you talk about Sam Flannel. You talk about not wanting to live in that world. Russell Wilson got $57 million in cash last year, right?
And that, in hindsight, looks bad. But at least Russell Wilson had put together a Hall of Fame resume in Seattle. That did happen. Obviously, the deal ended up being a disaster so far, and I don't think it's going to become not a disaster. But Daniel Jones, and I get it. Markets sort of dictate.
What are you doing, Sam Flannel? You're the GM of the Giants. What are you doing?
I think he's worth $35 million a year. I'm okay with that. Honestly.
So then you could get it to 42.
So you're franchising him then.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones says I'm not playing for that.
Who the hell does Daniel Jones think he is to like sit out a year? Daniel Jones has done nothing in the NFL. Stop it.
Yeah, but I got the power. But he's got the power.
He was about to.
What's your alternative?
He was about to play himself out.
I know
of the
you're
league.
running off emotion right now, Sam Flannel. What's the play then?
They do have a lot of cap space. I'm sure they could go get someone, but
Jimmy G.
You know what? Jimmy G right now is better than Daniel Jones for the record. Come on. And I don't like Jimmy Garoppolo. I just don't think very highly.
So.
And honestly, I'll be honest. Just the fact that Daniel Jones is asking for $45 million, I'll admit it. I'm a little triggered by that because it just doesn't make sense. He was about to play his way out of the league.
You put Daniel Jones in a Kyle Shanahan offense, he has a better season than Jimmy Garoppolo.
He was in a Brian Daboll offense, which is
with no receivers.
Yeah, with that's true, but he also had Saquon in the backfield.
Matthew has a comment for you in the WoodwardSports.com chat thread to Sam Flannel. Daniel Jones won a playoff game last year, bozo.
He was excellent.
On the road.
He was excellent in that playoff game. Bozo. Okay. 15 touchdown passes. The same amount as freaking Marcus Mariota. He had less than Jimmy Garoppolo, and Jimmy Garoppolo didn't even finish the season. He played 11 games. Just why?
Bozo. I love Bozo.
Bozo's a great insult.
Yeah. Bozo needs to be back.
Yeah.
There needs to be brought back.
Quick around the room before we go to break. Sean Payton, Russell Wilson. Does it work?
No, because Russell Wilson's involved.
Stop.
Yes.
Benny?
Yes.
It works.
By work, I think. What do you mean by work?
I mean, do they stay together? I mean, are they gonna like? Are you gonna see this stain, or are you gonna see the resurgence of Russell Wilson? Maybe not all pro, but
yeah, I think he'll be better, a lot better.
Yeah. Russell Wilson will obviously
can't be worse.
That's true.
He'll obviously be better under Sean Payton, one of the most brilliant offensive minds of this generation, as opposed to a bum as a head coach, Nathaniel Hackett. I think Russell Wilson will look more like Seattle Russell Wilson, but not quite at his highest heights. He will be better.
Sean Payton loves short quarterbacks.
That's actually very true.
Mike Bell says Flannel Sam's first order of business running the Giants would be to change their jerseys to flannels. And then Brandon says Jones has won more playoff games in New York than Goff has in Detroit.
dude,
Sam
that would
Flannel.
be all Lionel Debo flannels. They'd be all blue Debo flannels.
They would be. Yeah, they would be. No, I don't think so, because I think Russell Wilson is washed. And more than that, I think Russell Wilson, the person, has lost all cabin pressure.
I hate Russell Wilson, the person.
So do I. Dude, I think it's what we expect, and it's worse than that.
Here's the deal, real quick, before Spenny tells you about where Cousins Maine Lobster will be. If that story about him on the plane doing lunges in the aisle and all that shit is true, then he's the worst quarterback ever. And yes, it's associated with that. He's the worst ever.
That's fair.
Bozo?
The biggest
he
bozo.
Is a bozo for sure.
He's an absolute bozo.
Yeah, I hate Russell Wilson.
Who originated the bozo? Bozo's
Can
dead.
you imagine
I like saying
that?
bozo.
D-Mac, what if you guys were on Redbird 1 and some guy who's having an awful year is doing lunges in the aisle of the plane?
If they were stretching out or whatever
No.
injury or
They're
good
doing lunges.
They went into their short yoga program?
For an hour, too, right? Or
Unless
for 2
it was
hours.
Yuri Fisher, then it would be weird.
Would you call it out? Would you say, hey?
Like if it was like uncalled for, like,
yes.
but certain guys sort of would, like.
D-Mac, it has to be uncalled for. If you're doing lunges in the aisle of an airplane, that is uncalled for. I don't care what the circumstances are. Would you say, hey, sit down, bozo?
It'd be WTF.
What are you doing?
What are you doing? There'd be like 6 guys just leaning over, like drinking, going, "What is this?" Or, I mean, if it was but listen, here's the one thing, right? Dominic Hasek, you never this would be something that he would pull out in the plane. And what are you going to say? So, Neal, to your question, depends who it was, and if he's talented and a Hall of Famer, then he gets to do it.
Well, goalies are different cats.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but that's like something that Dom would do. But Dom was always stretching or doing something or putting himself. What did you think I would do this? And I want to go to Johnny when it gets to 30,000 feet to stretch me. So let's see if I can touch this. Like he's a Skeletor.
But I'm guessing too, he wasn't a douchebag.
What's that?
He wasn't a douchebag.
But
unlike the people we're talking about.
It wasn't like he pulled it out of nowhere.
Right.
Like if a dude sitting
not
there
like
in
it
a
was
suit
fake.
or whatever just pulls the lunch. No,
That was him.
What I'm saying is that he liked whatever else he'd always be getting like worked on or doing something goofy, but there was a purpose. He wasn't doing his workout there.
Yeah.
And it wasn't fake like it is with Russell Wilson's action figure hair. I'm sorry.
No, nothing was fake about it. It was frick whack, but you're also talking about a guy, Dominic Hasek, that used to have us line up in the hash marks. So literally, what are the hash marks to the goal line? 15 feet? And take slap shots with no stick in his hand and go down in a butterfly because he wanted to use his head, and he'd yell at us for not shooting as hard as we could. Goalies.
Now, I'll yell at you if you don't go to Cousin's Main Lobster for lunch.
Will I. Cousin's Main Lobster is where it's at. And now, right now, Cousin's Main Lobster food truck is up for Food Truck of the Year. Make sure you go vote for them on Freep.com, Best of Detroit, and follow them on Facebook.com/CML Detroit for your chance to win a $300 Visa gift card. If they win, make sure to try Cousin's Main Lobster today. You can scan that QR code right there and figure out where they are rolling around the city, or visit them online, order ahead, and earn rewards. It's Cousin's Main Lobster.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With four-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving in our clean and spacious clubs. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month.
Join today at any of the 50-plus Detroit area locations.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Let Guardian Alarms customized solutions from real experts, professional technicians that take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. But I need you to call Guardian today. The number, 1-800-STAY-OUT. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call anytime, day or night. Know that a Guardian team member will stay on the line as long as it's needed. But I need you to call the number, 1-800-STAY-OUT. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to care, even about guys like Flannel Sam's Flannel. How many straight days of flannel protection?
218.
218 days on this snowy, sleety, icy, wintry day in February. Now, if you want that type of protection, personal or business, give Guardian a call. 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Stay out of your contract negotiations, Daniel Jones. You're not worth $45 million a year.
Stay out of talking hockey if you think the Red Wings should trade Evanson for Timo Meyer, you idiots.
Agreed.
Stupid idiots.
Then you've heard it. So call Guardian Alarm, your local security experts. Tell them, Big D Energy, we sent you.
Oh, back at it. Big D Energy, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxer right here on the Woodward Sports Network. Happy to have you all with us today on this. It's a pretty Ricky Wednesday, right? So icy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
People sleep on that. Was a good jam, man.
It's so cold in the deep.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's different.
That's my
D-Mac.
favorite winter song.
Shout out to Tammy Chin. She's home from the hospital, and nothing will get you out of the hospital like when they try to give you cream of wheat for breakfast.
That's true.
All of a sudden, no, I'm better. I'm better. I'm good. I'll run out of here. I'll see you later. But good to see that Tammy Chin is back in effect. You know we like to do this too. It's a Who's It Wednesday. Spencer Raxter cracks his knuckles on the show sheet. Gives you a couple choices. Who you going with? Different scenarios. different players, everything. And I like this one a lot. And I'm curious to see where Spencer Raxter is going to weigh out on this one. Who do you see taking a bigger step forward next season for the Lions? Malcolm Rodriguez or Josh Paschal? Spenny, you're in the fight. You're in the line of fire for this. Why don't you lead this one off, Spenmo?
All right.
Who's going to take a bigger step forward, Malcolm Rodriguez or Josh Paschal?
It's going to be Josh Paschal. I love Malcolm. That's my guy, Malcolm. He was a starter already. I definitely think his play will improve. He's going to get better. But Josh Paschal, hopefully healthy next year. We saw what he could do when he's healthy this year. He had 2 sacks in a game. Like, the guy can be a monster. You can move him around the defensive line, and I think he's going to take a big leap. I do think Malcolm is going to be, obviously, a better player next year. He had a great year this year. He's definitely going to improve on different things, and he'll get his interception next year. But I just think Paschal, on the limited sample size, he has a lot more to improve on. He has a lot easier jump to be a better player than he was in his limited games this year. So I'm going to go Paschal, but I think Malcolm will have a great year as well.
What do you got on it, D-Mac?
I think that what we see is what we're going to get consistently with Malcolm Rodriguez, and he's set the bar. All rookie defensive team, stuff like this. I don't really expect the leaps and bounds, like Spenny said. Hopefully he gets his pick, hopefully maybe a couple more sacks, but I know what I'm going to get with him. Josh Paschal, it's availability. Right there. You saw when he was available what he can mean and do for that line. So I think that the where he has to grow from is bigger, and I think that he can be more effective. And the fact that if he is available and he is healthy and he plays like he even did last year as a rookie, you saw him, you noticed him out there. So I'm gonna go with Paschal because he didn't show enough availability this year.
It's a Who's It Wednesday. Who takes a bigger step forward next year for the Lions, Josh Paschal or Malcolm Rodriguez? WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Joey 2-Time says, my wife calls me Bozo as well. What do you got on this, Sam Flannel?
You're a clown.
I am going to go with Josh Paschal as well. And my one concern with Malcolm Rodriguez, and this really isn't a concern, is he obviously had an amazing rookie season, was all rookie team, was definitely a revelation being a 6th-round pick, and the heavyweights, to their credit, they first guessed it. But with Malcolm Rodriguez, I'm a little worried that he's closer to his ceiling. He played a full year. He was obviously, for a lot of the season, arguably their best linebacker, although at the end of the season I'd say it was probably Anzalone. And especially if the Lions get someone in free agency like a Tremaine Edmonds, which would make Spenny very, very happy.
Yes, it would.
I could see Malcolm Rodriguez playing better, but his numbers not necessarily reflecting it. Josh Paschal, his problem last season was he started the year hurt. He didn't really have an off season. He had flashes like a 2-sack game against Chicago. And I think if you can get him consistent snaps, playing alongside James Houston and Aiden Hutchinson, I think he'll be facing a lot of one-on-ones. You can also move him inside. I think his numbers will improve by maybe, I could see him getting 6 or 7 sacks next season. So kind of by default, I would go Josh Paschal.
How many sacks do you think Houston will have next year?
I would probably go 10.
10?
That's my guess.
So between Paschal getting 7, Houston getting 10, you already called Aiden Hutchinson for 13.5.
Yeah.
We're getting up there.
What's the sack record?
Yeah, what's a sack record for a team? I don't know. The Lions are going to have it next year, according to Sam Flannel.
I think the 85 Bears got it. The Philadelphia Eagles were... I think it's in the 70s because the Bears record was playoffs
72,
included. 72,
Chicago Bears
yeah.
in 84.
Yeah.
Eagles had 70. Wow.
How many was it, 82?
72.
72.
Eagles had 70 like this year.
All right, well, there you have it. 30 between Paschal, Houston, and Aiden Hutchinson, according to Sam Flannel.
I'd agree with that.
So they're almost halfway home already. WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Who takes a bigger step forward for the Lions next season, Josh Paschal or Malcolm Rodriguez? It's a Who's It Wednesday. 68% say Josh Paschal. I will say this.
Are we right?
Yeah. Here's the deal. Is it soft to say I don't know because of the health concern? Yes, it is. I will say this. If the Lions are in the playoffs next year, if the Lions win a playoff game, I think Josh Paschal's not the focal point, but a central point, if that makes any sense. You'd say
that his progress would mirror more of the team's success then, because Malcolm's, you like what Malcolm brings you, but he's that's what he's going to bring you, right? Meat and potatoes.
Pascal's
Pascal can be a game wrecker.
Yes. There's more of that in him. But Malcolm is in the right town, Spenny.
Oh, yeah.
He is in the right town for what he is.
100 million%.
He will be of the Darren McCarty mold in this town, man.
Absolutely, and he's such a great dude. So that's why, because he's genuine, authentic. You know,
he's as real as it
gets. The work ethic, he's grindliner.
He puts the cowboy boots on and walks into Ford Field. Like, he will never be doing lunges on a flight to London.
No,
never.
Not a chance.
No chance whatsoever. Because he's real.
Mm-hmm.
He will never have action figure hair.
No.
Because he's real. And I do like that about him. He is in the right place at the right time and is the right kind of dude. So
my cousin's obsessed with him.
Oh, yeah?
She's
more
like,
than you?
Yeah. She's like,
it's close. They fight over him at Grandpa's.
She's like, let me get his number. Let me get his number. I'm like, no, I'm not giving you his number. Like, relax.
Spenny holds that number.
Yeah, he does.
Clutches it tight to the bosom.
Hey, puts it in a little. Everybody, puts something under their pillow. Spenny puts the number under his pillow.
Yeah, absolutely. He doesn't want anybody getting that away from him.
Hey, for the record, wasn't it you that nailed Malcolm, or does Easy get credit?
It was Easy. It was me and Easy.
Oh, it was Easy.
Yeah,
it was you and him. Or
we broke down the film together.
No, I know, but who said, "Hey, check this guy out"?
Yeah, we both did. We broke down all the film of all the Lions draft picks.
All right.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. 9 Drink says Flannel is the biggest bozo on this network. So there's that.
Can't argue with that. You're entitled to your opinion.
You'll be a bozo.
Hey, Sam, you know what?
I'm the final
At least
word.
there's competition here.
Yes.
You'll be a bozo if you don't go to Big Boy. And here's why. Seafood Fest is back at Big Boy. Spenny.
Oh, yeah.
Catch it while you can. The favorites during Lent, like shrimp Alfredo, the shrimp stir fry, the new fish sandwich as well. Don't forget the all-you-can-eat fish fry buffet on Friday nights. Spencer Raxter, it will be there doing work.
Yes.
At least show up and catch the show.
Oh, for sure.
Just watch him go to work. Spenmo will stop eating, not because he's full, because you're bored sitting there watch him.
Yeah.
And that's why. Seafood Fest, it's back. Everybody, we've been waiting for this. Get to your local Big Boy today.
Saturdays at 1 p.m. Make sure you're watching WoodwardSports.com for our new show, Chompin' Puck.
He shoots! He scores!
With 4-time Stanley Cup champion Darren McCarty and Michael Gentry, Chompin' Puck is taking the Detroit hockey community and giving them a voice. Pros to Joes. You'll get the best Detroit hockey coverage around. Chompin' Puck. Saturdays 1 p.m. on WoodwardSports.com.
When it comes to making your haircut truly an experience, there's no better place than Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Come to any one of our 26 Metro Detroit locations for an award-winning haircut experience and qualify for a chance to win a down payment for your dream home up to $200,000. Our precision haircut and talented stylists will have you looking good, feeling good, and give you a chance to change your life forever. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Can't get enough Woodward Sports content? Head over to WoodwardSports.com right now for up-to-date sports articles and great entertainment news. We have the best writers, bloggers, and coverage all at your fingertips. Head to WoodwardSports.com right now to experience all Woodward Sports has to offer.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, the cleanest salons in the D. Spotless, sanitized rooms, trained and certified tanning professionals. Join the Pepper Club. Get all the best deals. They'll beat the competitors' prices by at least $5. And don't forget, you can pick up the Australian Gold, Designer Skin, Cal Tan, and if Spencer Raxter hasn't beaten you to it and bought it all, the Swedish Beauty Lotion.
Oh, yeah.
ChiliPeppersTanning.com. That's the website. The hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, the darkest tans. They are your vitamin D headquarters. 27 locations. More on the way. You may not see the sun for another week, so get to Chili Peppers Tanning.
Chili Peppers Tan?
Yay, yay. Back at it. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. It's a Who's It Wednesday. Spenmo gives you the choice. You got to pick between a couple.
Hold on, Spenny. Rustin Burks might have won it today. And I'm going to accentuate. He said Cardinals' new coach will be doing yoga in the middle aisle. Could you imagine? Duo yoga, lunges, Russell Wilson and the coach. Russell Wilson needs to go to Arizona. Could you see that, coach and Russell Wilson together? Like, seriously. Sorry to interrupt. That was funny, Russell. I could see it right there. Explosive. Oh, Russ, you're explosive with those lunges. You can run. Buster. Anyway, sorry, Spenny.
I hate that guy.
I do too. Hey, where are we at with the drops of Rich Gannon's son? We getting there?
Yeah,
we
getting
need
there.
them. Explosives.
Right. Tomorrow, I promise.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Philip C. says Rodrigo does his lunges in private. Yeah, I'm sure he does. Spenmo wax my face. Adam's a big bozo too. Anytime someone says
is
bozo,
that somebody's name?
Yeah.
Spenmo wax my face.
Yep.
Where? I never see. He said it yesterday. I tried to find it. I couldn't see it.
Anytime someone says bozo, I'm going to give it that little extra bozo on it.
Spenmo wax my face. Comment. I want to see your name. It's funny.
All right. It's a Who's It Wednesday, as we said. I like this one. Who has a higher ceiling in Detroit? Cade Cunningham or Jameson Williams? I think I know which way the people are going to go, and it's more of an indictment on the franchises where they are right in this second.
I don't think it's really fair to put them in the same category because Cade's emergence will have to take over the duration of 5 or 6 years. The biggest splash earliest and come out in the way that the NFL with the speed, it's got to be JMO. You know, can he be that Jamar Chase? Can he be the Tyreek Hill? Can he be whoever it is? Right, that we compare him to. He can make the biggest splash, and the speed's what's going to kill. I just think with Cade, the team around him, it won't show until 5 or 6 years down the road. Just like Terry Foster, sports media legend, fine gentleman, had said where it takes the East to sort of dissipate. But the splash, it's Jameson Williams.
Sam Flannel, what do you got on that one?
I'm actually going to go with Jameson Williams as well.
God, I was wrong.
And I know... yeah, right. And I know that it sounds kind of strange because Cade Cunningham has actually had a full season. He's proven to have a damn good rookie year. And Jameson Williams was kind of a non-factor last season. Definitely a non-factor. But I think Jameson Williams' ceiling is something comparable to Tyreek Hill. And that offense last season for the Lions was already elite. It was 5th in the NFL in scoring, and Jameson Williams was a complete non-factor. Just imagine if this offense in the next couple of years takes that step into being maybe top 3, and it adds more of an explosive element, and the Detroit Lions win big, like a division, playoff games plural. Jameson Williams will be one of the biggest stars in the city of Detroit. I would argue his ceiling is the biggest star in the city of Detroit because they're the freaking Lions. And the Lions fans are starved for a winning team because despite them being better this past year, they are still the worst franchise in NFL history, and our fans and their fans, myself included, have never experienced winning. Give me Jameson Williams, although I think Cade also has a very high ceiling.
WoodwardSports.com chat poll: who has the higher ceiling in Detroit? Jameson Williams at 73% of the vote. Spenmo, where are you at with this one?
I'm Cade Cunningham.
I am too.
Cade Cunningham has the potential to be the second best point guard in the history of the Detroit Pistons. Cade Cunningham has the potential to lead this team to a championship. Cade Cunningham is a guy that can go out there and do it all. He can beat you in multiple different ways. I think people forgot Cade Cunningham was out there giving 38, 9, and 9 to the Hawks. I think people forgot Cade Cunningham was averaging 24, 7, and 7 in the second half of his rookie year. This guy is the real deal. He is going to be a stud. He's going to come back. He's going to be the healthiest he has been since high school once he recovers from his injury. This guy is the real deal. He was the number 1 overall pick for a reason. He is going to be a superstar. I love Cade Cunningham. I think he has limitless ceiling. His ceiling is a top 3 point guard in the NBA. I'm all in on Cade Cunningham.
And I think people are missing that because he's out of sight, out of mind right now. I honestly believe that there is that to him. Ransom, WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Drink Cintron or be a bozo. Like Russell Wilson.
All right.
But I'm with you on that, Spenny, because he's not playing. And that's why he is out of sight, out of mind. And look, the other thing this is like the classic marketing thing, right? Jameson's the Rari.
Yeah.
You know, he is like he's the Ferrari. To whereas like Cade is more of the Range Rover. It's nice. It's all purpose. It can do a lot of things for you. Jameson's the burner. Jameson, you're driving that one down, and everyone's looking at it.
But here's the whole thing, Neil. That may be true, but both of them go into the shop. The fact is that you think that the Range Rover should be more susceptible. I think that where did I miss it? Jojo Froyo. Jojo, you get credit for this one. Said, you know what? The answer is whoever can play 80% of their games. Because here's the thing. Yeah, that's why Cade's and Land Rover, Range Rover, stuff like that, and the Ferrari, because they will have to go into the shop. It's not, your Jeep Cherokee or whatever it is, your $250,000 Ford Ranger, Bronco, whatever the hell it is, right? So that's the thing. So moving forward. But here's the thing. Everybody could be right. That's the beauty of it, right? Both things could be true to everything that we said. But I agree. We forget. Out of sight, out of mind.
And here's what it is. And this backs Spenmo's point up, too. Chuck Brewer says, I watched him go head-to-head with Durant last year. He is that guy. There is a resume with Cade Cunningham. I know he's not playing this year. We've seen it. You saw the names he was on graphics with and things like that. We're still talking about potential with Jameson Williams. We like what we've seen. We've took it around the track a couple times. We like how it feels. We took it on the test drive. We like it. We're going to buy it. But Cade has been in the mix, man. Cade has been out there. And I'm 100% in lockstep with Spenmo on this one. He has that ability to affect a franchise, to be built around him. And make no mistake, too, if the Pistons are going to do this, D-Mac, Cade Cunningham's going to be the central figure of it.
No, what Spenny said, the second best, but that's going to take time, and that's going to have him hammered down. He's going to be more legacy. I just believe the question was higher ceiling right off the rip, because that speed, it kills. He starts catching touchdown passes and turns into a Randy Moss or something like that. We still don't know, and you're absolutely right. Cade should get more credit because we've seen a resume, at least, of greatness to it, but a lot of us forget. So, recency bias. Can I go with that one?
No, absolutely you can.
I think I'm going to change my mind anyways. I'll go Cade because Sam went Jameson Williams. That's the only reason. No, I agree. I think the beauty is we got both of them. Both things can be true.
Is that because Sam Flannel's a bozo?
I mean, I guess that's not for me to say. That's for other people to play. I don't think I'm a bozo, but I'm not going to try to tell people how to feel. I think the beauty of this question, though, is Spenmo and Neal, I agree with you guys on all of your points about Cade Cunningham being the guy that can take the Pistons. They're going to go as far as Cade Cunningham goes. His ceiling is definitely second best point guard in Detroit's Pistons history, and he can be a top 3, top 5 point guard in this league. My thing is more of the Lions factor of it all, because despite obviously, that's the town loves the Red Wings, loves the Pistons, loves the Tigers when they're good, but this is a Lions city, and Jameson Williams, I think, could be that piece that makes this offense explosive, fun, and could lead them to winning in bigger moments like playoff games, divisions, and I'm not even going to say that next word, but they can. It's the Lions. This city loves the Lions.
Like, Cade Cunningham controls his own destiny. Like, obviously in basketball you have a much higher impact on a game as a singular player, where it's just one guy. He can go, he can keep. Cade Cunningham can himself win games, can himself win a series. A wide receiver in football is one of the only positions in sport that is intimately dependent on another position to have success.
Yeah, wholly dependent.
As a wide receiver, you can't have success unless your quarterback's having success. As a point guard in basketball, you could just go out there and get it.
And since we're getting kind of granular about it right now, when you look at Cade Cunningham, when he's out there on the floor with the basketball, he controls the movement of every single player in the game.
And all of the eyes on the defense are watching him. Like, again, I see it on Twitter all the time. The disrespect for Cade Cunningham because he hasn't played recently, because you guys forgot what he is. Like, the dude is special.
Forgot what he is, and the team sucks. Yeah. There's two that doesn't work against him, but that if everything that you say is true, and I believe that it is, then he's going to be able to come out through the ashes and lead this team to greatness.
Yeah, like a phoenix.
Ooh, it's a good one.
I don't know about all that.
That was a good one, Sven.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, Sam Flannel, tell them about Swiss Insurance, man.
Absolutely, because Swiss Insurance is the best kind of insurance you can have. If you sit in a local use sports board, if you anything you can possibly do, officers insurance is a must. So if you want to get in contact with Swiss Insurance, you can call them or you can email them at mark@swissins.com. That is mark@swissins.com.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on Shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Beverly Hills Goff, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
3 NBA championships. Detroit fans were there. 11 Stanley Cups. Detroit fans were there. 4 World Series wins. Detroit fans were there. And that one Lions playoff win in 1991? Yeah, Detroit fans were there. Woodward Sports, where the fans are.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxton. We're coming on the stretch here on a so icy Wednesday out there right now. The precipitation still falling from the sky.
It looks icy, too.
It does look icy. You see it on the windshield of the cars and stuff.
Yeah. No boy.
As we said, pretty Ricky, so icy. So
be safe where you're moving
Be safe
around.
out there, everybody. Absolutely. Be safe out
Take
there.
that extra time.
WoodwardSports.com.
Get the salt for your walkway.
Do it.
As you're, walking in the house, or some people forget that.
When you order
advance notices, you should have already put it down before it.
Should never have gotten to this.
But I get it, but sometimes it has.
But sometimes it does. Hey, for when you order that Cintron off of Amazon.
Yeah, absolutely. They come to your door, in a great 4-packs, no matter what it was. You don't want to be slipping going down and getting that, baby.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. Nico Holverson says, now hold up. This city's a hockey city. That's lost because of a recent slump in broadcasting rights. But Detroit is hockey town before anything else.
It's a football city.
It's like every other city in America.
Yeah.
That's why it's hockey town, not hockey city.
Yeah.
It's hockey town, but no, we're the first ones to say this, and because I grew up around here, the football team ever wins, it's going to put all 4 cup celebrations into one. Yeah. The friggin' place is going to blow up.
The city will burn to the ground.
It's more dangerous than that, right?
9 Drinks also says Sam Flannel's the biggest bozo on Woodward Sports, so...
All right, 1, 2, 3. If you think Sam's a bozo, put bozo in the chat thread, and I'll just start counting them just so Sam can take some credit, just so they know you get thinking about him.
The over-under is 20.
WoodwardSports.com chat thread. DNCENT says, please salt your porches. Sincerely, your Amazon driver. DNC is an Amazon driver, so think of they're around you.
Ooh, they're coming.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Hey, Tammy Chin. Thank you.
Shout out to
Hey, Mike G.
Mike G.
And Tammy
my
Chin,
people.
you bunch of kiss asses. Oh, Rich Diana, too. You got your people, Sam.
Mike Bell, boast of both worlds, says, bozo, sexual.
Our bozo, though. It's like when I used to go in the corner with Draper Maltby on the grind line. The other team's going, oh, man, how do you put up with these assholes? And I'd be like, you're right. You should see them off the ice. They are assholes, but they're my assholes. So now what? So he's our asshole.
Flannel, bozo. Sam Bozo Flannel. Justin Station wasn't even having it. He just said Sam stinks.
Oh, that's personal.
That's just mean.
You didn't play the game. We're not trying to get personal here.
Alex Merrill says Heel's the leader and the best of the bozo. So I got a bozo in there. Mike G says Flannel ain't no bozo Schembeckler. He would have a statue though.
Factual.
If this were Michigan, Sam Flannel would have a statue.
Factual.
Probably.
We're not going to go down. We're not going to go down that road. We'll save that for July.
It's fair.
We'll get the Bo Schembechler.
Spring practice started.
Yeah, we'll get the Bo Schembechler statue slander going. We'll fire that machine up in July because we have it in us. It's a Who's It Wednesday, though. Spencer Raxter comes up with these scenarios. It's Who's It? Who would you rather? And it's fun, man. It's kind of taking on a nice little identity. It's almost got like a nickel package vibe to it. Last one here for the day. You need a defensive stop at an NBA game. Who you taking? Which tandem you taking? Dumars and Rodman or Tayshaun and Ben Wallace? Yes, Mr. McCarty in the back.
No, I got a very important question. What year are we playing? Is it today's game? Or is it
right now?
Or is it?
We'll say.
Or is it? Or just take them when they played?
99.
In 99?
Yeah.
I'm taking Joe and Dennis. Just to the fact of Joe Dumars, Hall of Famer. More so is not he was put in there because of the defense, and then you got Dennis Rodman. I think the rules, right, were back in the day with the hand check and the physicality. These are the guys that went to war, right? So I love Ben Wallace so much more and Tayshaun, but I just think that's why the year is important. I think that maybe today you might want to go Tayshaun and Ben Wallace because of the length, because of the way the game's changed. But if you're going 1999, I'm going Rodman Dumars.
Sam Flannel, everyone's eagerly awaiting your thoughts.
Man, this is a tough one because if I could, I would say Tayshaun and Rodman, but I am going to actually go Tayshaun Prince and Ben Wallace.
Let's go.
I know. Because obviously Ben Wallace, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, that's all well and good. But Tayshaun Prince, to me, is arguably the most criminally underrated defensive player in NBA history. He was the guy who was the most valuable defensive player in that finals where the Detroit Pistons beat the Lakers. He was the primary defender who locked Kobe up like he was in jail in that game. Kobe Bryant was terrible, and a lot of that was due to Tayshaun Prince. I would argue that in a vacuum, Tayshaun Prince was every bit the defender that Ben Wallace was. It's just the Defensive Player of the Year award has historically been more of a big man's award. So to me, give me Tayshaun Prince and Ben Wallace because I don't know what you're doing against those two.
I'll overly simplify this, I guess. Number one, the versatility of Dennis Rodman. I mean, I can stop anybody with him for one possession, right? And number two, who was the toughest for Michael Jordan to deal with? Ask him.
Joe Dumars.
Joe Dumars.
And a lot of people say he's the greatest player of all time, right?
Yes.
Michael
This
Jordan.
seems to be pretty simple to me.
That's what the Hall of Fame, right? And for a non-basketball guy, the first thing goes, Joe Dumars in the Hall of Fame, and right?
And Michael Jordan has publicly said
right. That's what I'm saying.
He was a problem.
So I think that you're underplaying it. I see other people say that Dumars even one-on-one with Tayshaun. I think, Sam, you might overvalue a little bit Tayshaun, but I get what you're saying as far as, it's a great question. I just thought it was important what year. But to your point, Neal, yeah, if Michael Jordan says that and you think highly of Michael Jordan, it's gotta be him.
Mike Bell says someone cut off Sam Flannel's mic.
It's getting to the point where they don't even listen to what I say. They just hear that I'm saying it and Ben Wallace is involved, and they're just like, nope, I don't like it. I didn't even say anything disrespectful.
You did it to yourself, though.
And you know what? Fine, but I stand by that. But I literally picked the duo that had Ben Wallace in it.
Then you belittled Ben Wallace by saying Tayshaun Prince was as good a defender or better than him on a small sample size or in a box or whatever the hell you said. That's what people take issue. Why you gotta, instead of just giving the flowers, why you gotta throw that jab? It just looks like a jab, even though you're saying your opinion. That's why people don't listen when you say that.
But isn't it?
But I thought it was very big of you to pick Ben
it.
Wallace and Tayshaun.
But isn't it a little bit crazy that Ben Wallace won 4 Defensive Players of the Year and Tayshaun Prince never even made an all-defensive first team? That's kind of what I think is ridiculous. And I think, can we find some common ground on that?
That's
here's the thing too.
Take ridiculous to the facts of what everybody else league-wise thought.
And Sam, I'll jump into your defense a little bit here. The reason that I think Tayshaun Prince gets a lot of the acclaim because he did it in the game's biggest moments with all the chips in the middle of the table against the game's biggest names, right? The Reggie Millers, the Kobe. That was the biggest factor Because Shaq got his in that series, and they still dominated him because Kobe's, everybody's Mamba mentality guy, got largely shut down by Tayshaun Prince.
Did you all hear that in the chat? Neal Ruhl said that Shaquille O'Neal got his in that series. Ben Wallace did not shut down Shaq, and Neal Ruhl agrees.
Who is going to shut Shaq down? Shaq's going to get his anyway. He's the greatest dominating player of all time.
Bro, D-Mac, I've heard people actually say in this chat, on Twitter, even on a smaller scale in this office, say that Ben Wallace shut down Shaq. That's why I get so triggered. Quit while you're ahead. Ben Wallace did as good of a job as any center could have done, but he did not shut Shaq down.
There you have it. Spenmo wax my face. Stop it, bozo. I assume he's talking to you.
I just, I never see this.
I missed it again.
Yeah.
He's in and out. He's like you, Spenmo.
He's like a ghost.
Bro, I've never seen him either. Neal, are you making him up?
Hold on, I'm typing right now. Lorenzo says without Tayshaun, they don't win that title. And you know what? That's fair. Look, both things can be true.
Yep. I mean, I'll even admit it. Without Tayshaun and without Ben Wallace, they don't win that title.
That's my point about the Carmelo
really big
thing.
of you, Sam. Yes, we're growing.
That's my point. As I get ready here to go to the break, that's my point about the Carmelo thing.
Stop it.
If they draft Carmelo, maybe Tayshaun's not on the floor in that situation.
What did Lindsay say? What did Lindsay say when you told him that? He's like, yeah, but if we draft Carmelo, maybe we're up 20 points at that situation. So ifs and buts with candies and nuts,
we don't wouldn't be a bozo. And you're a bozo if you don't work out at Planet Fitness, the official studio sponsor of Woodward Sports, home of the judgment-free zone. You can work out just $10 a month, get access to your home club. You a big baller or shot caller, the black card option's available as well. Over 2,000 Planet Fitnesses in the world. You can go to all of them with your black card. Doesn't matter where you go. I travel a lot. I just walk right into the Planet Fitness and get the work in. Was there this morning, as a matter of fact. Go to planetfitness.com. Join today. Pull in the parking lot on the way home. You can do that as well and join there. It's Planet Fitness, Darren McCarty.
Where your fitness is essential.
At work and at home. We're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
We aren't quite sure if they consume more beer or sports. Either way, the heavyweights are here. Live on Woodward Sports, daily 5 to 7 p.m.
Final segment of the show, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter here with you. Real quick, too, it is official. Taylor Lewan has been released by the Tennessee Titans. No stunner there. There is zero dead cap associated with it, so you either pay a 32-year-old $15 million or you pay him nothing and say goodbye. So they chose the latter.
He gone. Somebody will get him somewhere, right?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Not at $15 million, but they will in some form or some fashion. D-Mac, you had something. What do you got?
No, I just want to know. I was thinking of today and would tell everybody as the snow starts coming down and stuff that my plans, I hope, like everybody else, is to sort of lock in and be at home. But one of the things that I've been perusing and I thought I'd bring to the chat thread is I'm looking to start a new series. I'm looking to dive into a new series, right? And without listing ones that I'm thinking about, some of the favorite ones that you've seen and we've all seen over time. I was just wondering, and looking for a day like today where you probably have 6 or 8 hours, right, to really dive into it and nothing else to do. Is there anything that comes to your mind? Mind you, I like documentary stuff or true story stuff. But are there any shows I was going to ask you in the chat thread that need to be done? One of the last ones, the series that I watched, and I'm all dialed into the Star Wars universe and all that stuff. But Mando's coming out March 1st. Ready for that. But is there any other ones? The last one I think I watched was Westworld.
Westworld's
good. I enjoy all the different stuff. So you guys got any suggestions?
Sam Flannel, hit him with an anime show.
Yeah, I could tell you a couple animes, but The Last of Us on HBO is really good. Episode 7's coming out this week. That's really, I think you'd like that one. I'm trying to think of other ones. Obviously, like you can go over the GOATs like The Wire and The Sopranos and stuff like that. But
those are always. I was just wondering if there's any of the new ones. Like the Money Heist or the one that came out. Did you see that one? Like the 6-part episode HBO or whatever. Or they had one Kaleidoscope. Did anybody do that one? Where you watch it doesn't matter what order you watch the episodes in. It all makes sense.
I heard that was really good though. But The Last of Us is really good. The Last Kingdom. Have you seen The Last Kingdom?
Oh. Good one?
Yeah. Oh, really good.
Series?
Really
How
good.
many seasons?
3 or 4.
Okay. I'm into that stuff because I lived back then. I know that past
Uhtred,
life.
son of Uhtred. That's a good one.
Last Kingdom?
Yeah.
All right, I'll put that at Sam. You got anything? Do you guys, you and the lovely wife, have shows that you peruse?
I mean, honestly, on a day like today, I would probably go investigation, discovery, on demand, like some of those crime shows. My favorite, personally, our favorite, is one called Deadly Women, and it's just kind of how it's portrayed. It's a little bit tongue in cheek. So I would recommend a Deadly Women marathon on ID.
Have you seen True Detective, D-Mac?
Yes, I like that one. I've seen a few episodes and stuff that's gotten into. Has anybody watched the new Accused? Has anybody watched that new Accused series where every week they change the? How about you, a series guy?
No, because I just watched. I am gonna lock in. Don't the
Any
Islanders?
documentaries?
Don't the Islanders play tonight?
What's that?
Don't the Islanders play tonight?
You locked into the Isles?
Let me see what the schedule's looking like today.
And good call yesterday. I hope you steak sandwich to ever put in because plus 135 for the Wings hit. But let's see, Better Call Saul. That's a good one.
Vikings is really good.
Peaky Blinders, I'm into that. I just got done with Yellowstone, so I was late to that party.
Yeah, Yellowstone's great.
My wife really liked Peaky Blinders a lot.
Peaky Blinders is good.
Yeah.
Tommy fucking Shelby.
Yeah. If I were gonna watch one, I'd probably give that one a spin.
Okay.
Peaky Blinders is dope.
It's good.
Yeah, it's very good.
I may get into it. We'll see.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy and Tom Hardy when Tom Hardy gets introduced into it.
Rick brought up The Witcher.
The Witcher is good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very good.
Ski Mask Boy, the new golf series on Netflix. Swing.
I'm into that.
Have you watched it? Is it as good as everybody says?
I watched the first episode. I like it. The way they've done it, it's sort of got the behind the scenes, and you get a little bit more.
Yeah.
Definitely well produced, but I would encourage you to look into it, Neal, as
I will. That one I will.
A golf partner and a golfing friend.
Yes.
With a golf mind, you'll enjoy it.
No, I will. I will like that. I will certainly get into that. It's funny too because my wife and I never watch sport shows together. Mm-hmm. The only one she ever watched with me, we watched the Tom Brady one, the Tom versus Time.
Yeah.
And she was fascinated with it. She's like, all this goes into it. You know how like Tom Brady like lives his life, like every meal he has is built towards playing football.
If we're sitting here right now at 11:01, the alarm would go off and you'd have to go to the kitchen and drink one of his.
Yeah, and then go to the weight room again, and I'm like, it's not a hobby.
Bullies of Baltimore was really good. The
30 for 30 on them.
Those are always really good, but that one was very good.
Hey, Spenny. Did that Bullies of Baltimore make you hate Trent Dilfer anymore? I know you, like, I, on record, hate Trent Dilfer. Neal did a very, very popular TikTok in which, reacting to Trent Dilfer's blasphemous comments about
Trent Dilfer.
Yeah, Trent Dilfer's a loser.
You see how I think the defense scored more touchdowns in that playoff run than the Baltimore Ravens offense did, and the defense in that Super Bowl run allowed 5.8 points per game. They outscored the opposing team's offense most games, and Trent Dilfer is supposed to get credit. I'm glad they cut his ass after the season. I think that's karma.
Yeah.
F Trent Dilfer.
Trent Dilfer's a nerd.
He's a bozo.
He is a
bozo for sure.
He has more interceptions and touchdowns in his career. Bum.
Bozo.
I can win a Super Bowl if Trent Dilfer can.
Yeah.
Motown Cool says Dilfer equal flannel. Same.
I'll tell you what, I probably could have played quarterback, handed the ball to Jamal Lewis, and watched the defense dominate and win those Super Bowls. I mean, you could Spenny, you could D-Mac, you could Neal. That's how little Trent Dilfer had to do.
All right, well, hey, that wraps it up here on So Icy
And officially,
Wednesday.
he's not legend killing anybody. That doesn't get legend killing.
No, his stats do that. His stats legend kill him himself. So appreciate everybody tapping into the show today. For Darren McCarty, Sam Flannel, Spencer Raxter. My name is Neal Ruhl. Thanks for watching Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.